Welcome to the WillSub Substitute Training video. Today we will go through all you need to know to start accepting jobs and utilizing WillSub to manage your substitute career. Let's start with sharing some important information. As a substitute, your employer will be PCMI, not the district or the schools. Your assignments will vary based upon the jobs you accept through WillSub as a PCMI employee to work in the schools. This is very important to remember because any information you require regarding your employment should be directed to PCMI. For all human resource, workers' compensation, benefit, or assignment questions, please contact us at 1-517-647-7533 and choose Human Resources. For payroll questions, please contact us at 810-765-0893. As a PCMI employee, we are happy to have you as part of our valued team. Now, let's start with the WillSub homepage. Open your browser, go to the address bar and type www.willsub.com. On the right-hand side of the page, you will see a user ID and PIN box. Enter your unique user ID and PIN, then hit Enter to log on. Each user in WillSub has their own user ID and PIN assigned to them. It is very important that you keep this secure at all times. We are now at the home page. You will find a lot of information in one place. The days you have worked or are scheduled to work, for whom, and any notes for that class. Use this screen to quickly glance at your schedule and see what jobs are available as well. In the left corner, you will see Jobs Available. This will indicate if there are any jobs available for you to take. If you click on the link, it will take you to a screen where you will be able to accept or decline available jobs. If you need to find out more information about a job, click the date and it will bring you into a screen where you can accept or decline the job. Look through the information and then either choose Accept Request or Decline Request. In this case, we are going to accept the job. Note that your response has been submitted to WillSub. Wait about 3 seconds for WillSub to assign a reference number to the job and that you've accepted the job. If you go back to your home page and scroll down to the reference number and date, you will see that we did receive this job. Going back to the home page, you can see there are no jobs available because that was the only job that was available to pick up and we had accepted it. If you see there are available jobs on your home page, you may review them first. Do this by clicking on the link for the date where you will find more information. You may also move from one job to another by clicking the forward and back arrows of your browser. In this case, we're going to look at the information and then look at another job. We've decided to decline this one job, and so we've hit Decline Request. Let's go back to the other job to see if we're interested. Let's go back to the other request and see if we'd like to accept it. Go to the New Jobs Available link. Click on the date. Look over the information and then choose to accept the request. Note that your response has been submitted to WillSub and wait just a few seconds before checking if a reference number has been attached to that request. Go back to your home page to look at that request and make sure that you received the job. If for some reason you need to cancel a job with WillSub, all you need to do is click on the reference number of the request you'd like to cancel. After clicking on the reference number, it will bring you to a screen where you will be able to cancel the job. The button says Reopen. Hit the Reopen button, then WillSub will ask you for the reason for the cancellation. Type in the reason, then hit Cancel Job. In order to be paid, the school must authorize the time you spent at their building. They do this through WillSub in the form of an electronic time card. If a school does not authorize your pay, PCMI cannot pay you. So in order to keep you aware of the status of your pay, we have set up an area for you to view the status of requests. Go to Requests View Payroll Transactions. Click on the transactions you wish to view. In the right-hand column, you will see Authorized Pay and the dollar amount. If this pay area is empty, you know the job has not been approved by the school for payment. If this is so, and it's after the date you should have been paid, please contact the school and ask them to approve the transaction. After approval, you will then be paid on the next regularly scheduled payroll. To see the payroll schedule, go to Information, Pay Periods. Choose the appropriate district from the pull-down to show the correct pay schedule. All jobs that have been authorized by the appropriate date will be included in the next regularly scheduled pay period. PCMI pays every 2 weeks based on the schedule listed, depending on which district you worked in. If you work in different districts with different pay periods, you will receive a direct deposit or pay card deposit based on that district's schedule. Choosing Requests, View Payroll Transactions is where you will find your check stubs. You now have access to your payroll information 24/7 through WillSub. To see individual transactions, click on the reference number. WillSub will then display the details of that specific paycheck. At year-end, you will receive a W-2 from PCMI Services. Moving along to the Commitments tab, you will find one of the ways you can manage your schedule. This menu item will allow you to block out dates you may be out of town or don't want to substitute teach. Just pull down a date from the calendar and make any notes if necessary. The notes are for your personal use only. They don't show up anywhere else in the system. When you do this, you will deactivate yourself for that day only, eliminating yourself from the call list. This allows you to customize your own schedule. The View Commitment tab will show you all the days you are booked in the system. WillSub Committed means that you are teaching in a school. When there is a delete in the column, this means you have blocked this day out for your own personal schedule. If you decide to use this feature, please be sure to adjust your WillSub schedule with your personal schedule. If your situation changes, you can delete the blocked time out, but if you don't, the system will not list you as available. If we go to Information, My Preferences, you will see where you may choose how you would like to interact with WillSub. You have the choice to use the phone, the internet, or both. Choose what time you would like WillSub to call, or choose if you would like to have phone calls at all. Call advance days will affect how far in advance you will receive phone calls for a job. You may see jobs online first and receive a phone call at the same time. Or maybe you want to receive phone calls only 3 days in advance for jobs. The job will still be listed online right when it's created, but this way you can control how much you wish WillSub to call you. Looking under Information, School Preferences, you may choose the schools you'd like to work at. If you use the pull-down, you will have 2 choices: Buildings I Work At and All Available Buildings. Choosing All Available Buildings will give you the list of buildings you can make your selections from. Each building will be listed on the left-hand side. Click into the desired building and bring up the preference screen. Go down the list of pull-downs and make your choices. The ranking system is based upon a 1, 2, 3 scale, with 1 being the most desirable, 3 being the least desirable. Subs usually use this as a distance limiter, or maybe if you have favorite schools. If you would like to see jobs at a specific school anytime a job is offered, mark that school a 1. For schools you may not want to work with as often, but still want to be included on their list, mark them a 3. Depending on the jobs you qualify for and the jobs that may be offered by the district, you will see a list of positions on the right-hand side. Select Yes or No to become eligible to see jobs for other categories. If you'd like to print out a copy of the user manual for WillSub, you can find that under Information, How To. Now that we've reviewed how to pick up jobs on the web, let's go to the phone instructions. Based on your preferences, WillSub will call you for jobs that fall within your qualifications. To accept a job, you first need to answer the phone. You need to say hello for the system to recognize there is a person on the other end. Sounds obvious, but if you don't say hello, the system will not give you any information. Listen to the request and select the appropriate option. 1. To accept. 2. To decline this specific job. 3. To decline all jobs that day. 4. Call back. 5. Replay message. Or 9. Report a wrong number. You will be required to enter your user ID and PIN. At the end of the transactions, you will receive a reference number. Write this down and keep it handy in case the school requires it for entry into their building. If you didn't catch the reference number, you can always take a look at the request on your home page on the web and get it from there. Now that you've completed the WillSub Substitute training, please log into WillSub and go to the Information tab. Complete the following information. In My Preferences and School Preferences, choose how you would like the system to interact with you and which buildings you would like to work at. If you go into Check ISD Renewal Status, Check State Renewal Status, and Check PCMI Status, these will all show you what you need to do in order to complete your file to be sure you are compliant and ready to work. The last thing you need to do is browse the system so you're familiar with WillSub before your first job. This concludes the WillSub Substitute Training video. If you require more information, or if you just need a little help, please feel free to call us at Technical Support, 1-800-319-4278. That's 1-800-319-4278.